Hello, you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. So this pick a card is going to be all about Saturn retrograde. Hi, you guys. This is JJ. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. So I'm going to be shuffling behind camera here, as I am talking about Saturn going retrograde. It went retrograde June 4th, and it will be retrograde in the sign of Aquarius until October 23rd. And this one we don't feel it that much, just because it's farther from Earth. So we don't really get to feel it as much. Like, for example, Mercury retrograde, but definitely it still has an impact in our lives. And with Mercury, Mercury just went direct. Now we're having Saturn go retrograde here. Let's talk a little bit about who is Saturn, right? Well, he's the planet of karma, responsibility. He is the planet about structure, law and order, and so much more. But he's definitely brings structure in our lives, and he helps us. He teaches us a lot of things. If we learn to work with Saturn, it can become one of our greatest assets to bring in structure into our lives and to bring maturity into our lives. And so with Saturn going retrograde, things are getting serious, right? Saturn is such a serious energy, and Saturn retrograde, well, it's karma time, basically. You're getting what you're owed in some way. This one flew across the table. So for those of you who pick pile 3, it's like you don't even see it coming. It's like way off there. But it's a time of karma, and during this transit, situations might be coming up. So I want you to think of, what happened June 4th? What showed up for you? Because that's usually what the karma will be around, and what the lessons are going to be around as well. That kind of shows you the theme, right? But during this time, things from the past might be coming back in order for you to revise. And this can go both ways. This can be very, very positive. Remember, karma is neither good or bad. They're just lessons that we're learning in life. But definitely, we reap what we sow, right? So just be prepared. Just be prepared to answer to your actions. Whether that be good or bad. But it's a lot of time for a lot of growth with Saturn retrograde, okay? A lot of growth, and it feels like, for me, especially when we're talking about Saturn retrograde, I don't know if this is just me, but I feel like, because Saturn teaches us a lot of things, I feel like whenever it's retrograde, it's like it's on steroids. Like, the lessons are on steroids. And they're like, oh, wait a minute. Like, you learn a lot. If you really implement and you work with Saturn, you learn a lot. And it teaches you, like, okay, I don't want to do that again. Like, okay, I learned my lesson, because if you don't learn your lesson, it'll keep coming back around. But during this next 4 months, try to stay calm, reasonable, okay? Approach your decisions from a place of, balance at this time. And if something in your life come to a standstill in your life, is because Saturn actually is giving you time to decide what it is that you want next. So if you're like, oh my God, I've been wanting to do this, but it came to a standstill, Saturn is like, okay, do you really want that? Because whatever you're gonna plant, it's going to have its rewards. It's going to have, its effects, right? So Saturn is like, okay, think about it. Do you really want that? And so take it as a good thing. Don't take it as a bad thing. But as well as in relationships, during Saturn retrograde, I do see that a lot of people tend to break up. And the reason for this is because Saturn is teaching you that you have outlived, you have outgrown your relationship, and you've already learned the lesson. It already served its purpose. And so, Saturn retrograde is letting you know, like, hey, it's time for change. It's time for change. Do you really want this? Do you not? Because something needs to change. Something needs to budge. And so that's my little take on Saturn retrograde. But this is what we have going on here. So be gentle with yourself for the next 4 months. But if you've been doing the work and if you've been putting in the hard effort and things, expect Saturn to reward you, because Saturn definitely does reward you big time. He doesn't just have you putting in the work for nothing, So, yep, that is my little spiel on Saturn going retrograde. But we have pile 1, 2, and 3, like always, timestamps, all the information, how to book a personal reading, a Reiki session, like my website, all of that good stuff. My courses on my website now. I haven't told you guys, but I do have courses on my website now that you can watch at your own time, at your own pace, and that way you can, do things just at your own energy, and I feel like it's a lot better that way. But all that information is always in the description box below. I will see you guys in your selected pile. Bye. Hello, pile number 1. So let's see what is going on during the Saturn retrograde for you. We have the asserter. Okay. We have magical powers. The rabbit. The Hierophant. The Hierophant is very similar to Saturn energy to me. And then we have mutable, surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. So there is change happening with Saturn retrograde for you guys. I feel like it's going to be very hard for you guys to let go of control here with the asserter here. There's something that you want to push. There's something that you're like, I need to make it happen. I want to make it happen, right? I feel like this is something that you've been wanting to manifest with that rabbit energy. Maybe you've been seeing a lot of rabbits or a lot of phoenix as signs. But with the Hierophant here, is this higher purpose, is this divine order that is going on in your life currently that you're needing to be more mutable, okay? Especially if you are a Gemini, if you are a Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces energy. I feel like it's important for you guys to surrender at this time, to know that you will not be in control. Allow things to flow, okay? Because there is positive change happening in your life if you allow it to. Because with Saturn, we can either get real mad, right? And get frustrated with it. Or we can either go with the flow. And with Saturn, I would suggest we always go with the flow. It's kind of like Pluto energy, Because the asserter as well here is giving me this. For some of you might be receiving a call or something like this. But it's this energy of, you're very passionate about something, right? When you assert yourself, is because you want it. You're like, I can make it happen. I can do this. But also, when we want to assert ourselves, we have to find flexibility in order for us to find a balanced perception of things, perspective of things. And also Saturn is teaching you that words carry power, especially when you deliver them with passion. And for some of you, you have been speaking things into existence from a place of passion, from a place of assertion, from a place of confidence. And you're going to get it. You've been very patient with the Hierophant here. You've been very, very patient. And I feel like your life is going to transform. And for some of you, you might have forgotten that you said this. And so now things are picking up for you. And there's going to be like an adjustment period here. But here with Saturn retrograde, things might feel very out of your control. And the Saturn energy is saying, so why obsess about what you cannot control? Change is inevitable. And change does not require acceptance or permission for it to happen. And that might be yourself. You know, maybe you have changed. Maybe you have grown. Maybe, you know, you used to be very rigid, or now you want to take something a little bit more serious with the Hierophant being here. But again, it's this energy of you don't need permission. You don't need permission from anyone to grow, to change. I see for many of you during the Saturn retrograde, actually, you're going to be the phoenix rising out of the ashes. I weave and clear, I cast and know, magic secrets to me now show. There's something being shown to you, something that needs to change. And I feel like with this change, it might be a little, there will be definitely the time for you to go back to the drawing board here with this Hierophant energy. But it's important that you remain flexible. Because right now, I feel like it's a very fertile time for you with the Rabbit. A very passionate time. A time for you to take leaps. Work on your root chakra as well, Pile 1. For some of you, there could be an unexpected pregnancy here as well. That's for some of you. But whatever change Saturn retrograde brings into your life, just know that you will be able to handle it. You will be okay. As long as you're seeing things from a spiritual perspective and you're understanding the lesson here. And as long as you stay fluid and surrender. Because I heard surprised. You will be surprised. Let me pull some angel cards for you guys. For some of you, this will be a course correction as well. Okay? There will be a course correction that Saturn retrograde will be doing in your life. Yeah, whatever this is, whether it be that you are needing to course correct. Maybe you've been frustrated with something and Saturn is like, okay, yeah, enough. Let me take you out of this situation. And for some of you, you already knew this. For some of you, you're very clairaudient. You already knew this. You already heard this. You already saw it coming. But for some reason, you were not trusting your inner knowledge. You were not trusting your gut feeling. But again, whether it be a change that you see favorable at this time or not, it's still a gift from God. It's still getting you out of a situation that you kept fighting about. You kind of kept needing to be the asserter. Yeah. I feel like Saturn retrograde is going to require you to have a lot of courage at this time. Saturn retrograde is going to remind you of who you are. Because it feels like you have forgotten. What is this card? Prosperity. Money coming in. Yay. Okay, so yeah. For some of you, there is a child. There is a child coming in. Some of you have been manifesting that. Some of you have been manifesting marriage. But Saturn is bringing balance and harmony in your relationships as well. And money again. Just cut the deck. But that is what I have for you, pile number 1. Be fluid. Be patient with yourself. Again, there is a course correction happening here, but it's all for the best. So just be patient with it. In order for you to build a strong foundation. It's like you're rebuilding something here, something solid. But that is what I have for you. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. Let's see. Okay, for some of you, I'm hearing... Are your foundations strong? Have you been investing your resources wisely? Your time, your energy, your emotions? It's like this period of revision for you guys is what I'm getting here. Yeah, have you been investing your time, your money in the best way? Okay, let's see. We have the respite. For some of you, you've been working really, really hard, and Saturn retrograde is like, we got to work smarter. I feel like Saturn retrograde actually for you guys is going to be a period of contemplation. It's going to be a period of, you know, resting, of honoring yourself. It's going to be also, I feel like there's going to be help, because I feel like for many of you, you've been working really, really hard. You've been really depleted in a lot of things, and I feel like Saturn retrograde is actually going to bring you blessings and to allow you to finally step away from your busy life for a while, okay? For you to kind of catch your breath, to become aware of your breath. Because I feel like for you guys, you're very well rooted, but there's this idea or this ideology that you got to work really, really hard. And I feel like Saturn retrograde is going to remind you that, hey, you're very stable. It's okay for you to take some time off. It's okay for you guys to, you know, reinvigorate yourself and just nurture yourself. This Saturn retrograde can also be bringing up a lot of underlying frustrations to the surface for many of you. Okay. For some of you, you've become maybe a workaholic or obsessed with deadlines or obsessed with a goal in particular, you know. And this Saturn retrograde is going to ask you, why have we become so hyper-focused on this goal or on, you know, on this deadline, or there's a fixation here to the point where it's derailing your health and your happiness. It's like you're putting everything away to achieve a goal. So for example, let's say, you know, you're like, oh, I want to accomplish this, I want to do this. And so you keep telling, for those of you who have family, you keep telling your family like, yeah, or your friends like, yeah, we'll hang out after. Let me just do this. Or I don't have time right now, because you're so hyper focused on that goal or that thing that you want to achieve. And so I feel like Saturn retrograde is going to remind you that your health and spending time with the people that you love is very important, as equally, if not more important, than achieving that said goal. Because time passes by real fast, you guys. And so I feel like for some of you, you've been doing things, or you've become very obsessed with achieving something to the point that is costing you your health, okay? I feel like this Saturn retrograde also is going to want you to seek a balance in everything that you do. Work and play. There needs to be a balance, right? Between work and family, between, you know, your goals and your relationships. Because you need to honor your heart. And for some of you, pile number 2, you're exhausted, like super exhausted. And you might not even realize it anymore, because that's how exhausted you are, that your body has become numb. There's numbness here. For some of you, this Saturn retrograde is also going to make you clean house. Okay. Let's see. Glamour. Okay, so for some of you, I feel like you're going to be taking a hard look in the mirror and seeing, how have you been neglecting yourself? Your, you know, the things in life, your joy, your passion, because of responsibilities or because of things that need to get done, you know? I feel like for some of you as well, the glamour is actually being removed from something that you thought was like your main priority, but you're going to start seeing that you are your priority. We have the Tiger. This is fire energy. The Knight of Cups. and square, a challenging situation, a mountain to climb. For some of you, again, it's like you're always looking for the next mountain to climb, for the next obstacle to climb. And I feel like this has created a challenging situation in your life. And for some of you, you are, Saturn retrograde is bringing someone in to assist you, to give you a helping hand, right? Someone is coming in to offer you something, but will you take it? Or are you going to be too engulfed in, the fact that you have so much to do that you will not accept, that you don't know how to delegate? Because Saturn retrograde here is bringing you something to help you. In order for you to get some type of respite, in order for you to get some type of a break here. And the tiger too is, someone who's very patient when they're hunting, right? They bide their time. They're very patient. They're very observant. Yeah, you need to nurture yourself. That's the biggest thing with Saturn retrograde for pile number 2. Yes, what I said. You're going to be reviewing your life. And for a lot of you, you will be overcoming these obstacles, but it's going to be from a place of passion, from a place of trusting yourself. It's like this renewal happening in your career and your love life. For some of you, like I said, you have been putting, your love life or your relationships or your family last because you've been trying to obtain something, but it's like these difficult obstacles keep coming up because you need to take a moment to find a peace in your life. Okay? Yeah, prosperity will come. The goal that you want will happen. It will come, but it's okay for you to you need to, there's a health lifestyle here. You need to step into a healthier lifestyle. That is what is going on. So if you've been, recently all of a sudden being like, oh, I gotta go get my checkups, or something came up, I need to go get it checked out, or, you're being drawn to maybe taking yoga or doing more breath work, or, becoming more conscious about what you put in your body, and you're like, I need to detox, I need to do some juicing, I need to do some there's something here that you've noticed that you're like, I have to change. Maybe you've been, taking less, let's say caffeine, or less soda or sugar, right? Your intake is like, I have to regulate that a little bit more. And that is because that is Saturn retrograde. Saturn retrograde is like, we got to take care of our health. We got to make sure that we're resting. We got to make sure that we're sleeping. We got to make sure that we are, taking care of our beautiful vessel that we have, because you guys tend to overwork pile number 2. Okay. But just know that Saturn is blessing you with respite, and that might be hard if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't want to. I want to finish my work. I get it. I really do. But take that moment off. Take that moment off. Take that time off to kind of catch up with yourself, to connect with yourself, to nurture yourself, right? To get the rest that you need. Do something fun. Go out with your friends maybe, or do something that brings you joy. But that is what I have for you guys. Take care. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. So let's have a look. Let's see what the Saturn retrograde is going to be steering up within you guys. I feel like for many of you, or my pile number 3, it's all about your behaviors, your energy. Saturn is wanting you to own your lives, okay? To become accountable and to admit to yourself, what got you to where you are. To really take ownership of your life, to take responsibility for it. And for some of you, you're going to be looking at your commitments. I don't know, but that's coming up very strong before I even look at the cards. For some of you, you're going to be letting go of commitments that are no longer in alignment for you in order to embrace or make space for new commitments to come into your lives, okay? Also, your responsibility. You're going to be looking at your responsibility. Is this my responsibility, or is this not my responsibility? And giving the responsibility to who it belongs to. Let's see, what else am I picking up here? Okay, also looking at what is limiting you. But let's have a look. Let's see. Saturn is always a serious, serious energy. But I'm also, last thing that I'm picking up here, I'm hearing Saturn wants you to grow into your greatest potential. And they're saying once you own these things within yourself, your life will catapult you into new directions. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. The yearning. You've been yearning for something. Okay, pile number 3. You've been yearning for something, but for some reason or the other, you haven't really admitted the fact that you're yearning for something. So for example, let's say you've been yearning for, let's say, I don't know, a beautiful relationship. I think everybody can relate to that one. You've been yearning for a beautiful relationship, and somehow you tend to push that yearning down. Like you're like, oh yeah, okay, when it happens, yeah, right now I'm going to focus on work, and I'm going to focus on, you know, my responsibilities and the things that I got to do. And it's like you keep pushing this down and down and down and down. And I feel like Saturn is going to highlight, the Saturn retrograde is going to highlight the fact that what you are truly yearning for. And you might not even know exactly what your soul is yearning for. And the Saturn retrograde is going to highlight that in order for it to become very clear to you what it is exactly that you've been yearning for. For some of you, this yearning is going to be different things, right? You fill in the blank. But there is a heavy yearning here for you guys that Saturn retrograde is going to. I also am getting like you guys will be getting that which you've been yearning for those of you who, I don't know why I'm getting like those of you who are aware of what it is that you've been yearning for. Okay, let's see. Okay. Sensuality. Ooh, some of you have been yearning for more sensuality in your life. For more love, more laugh, more play, more dance, more passion in your life. For some of you, you have created like this addiction to, and this is not substance wise, but there's this sense of like the way to numb that yearning, we use something else that is not good for us. Because either deep down we're not accepting the fact that you're yearning this, you're not wanting to accept it, you're not wanting to realize that yes, this is what's missing in my life, and so you're using something else. So for example, let's say you're yearning for loving, going back to that example, you're yearning for a beautiful loving relationship, but it's like we keep going from relationship to relationship to relationship, right? Because we're not wanting to admit to ourselves, because we're focused on something else. Like, yeah, I want this. And so, you know, Saturn retrograde is going to highlight that for you in order to bring it to a completion here, with the 21 being the World card. The Bear. Yeah, it's like you keep... You know what this is reminding me? This is reminding me of this energy of like, I want to do this or I want this, but at the same time when it comes, I push it away. Because the bear hibernates. So for some of you, I feel like, again, it's like you're not admitting to yourself that you're yearning for something, that you're wanting something. I'm hearing be sincere about it. Be sincere about it. The King of Wands. Maybe you have a lot of fire in your energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. For some of you might be yearning for a King of Wands. Someone who's very passionate, very much a leader. Very much someone who's very creative. Someone who has a lot of like stamina as well. But the King of Wands is a king of sensuality. He's like the queen, the counterpart of the Queen of Wands, which is very sensual, very beautiful. So for some of you, you are yearning for this fire energy. But I feel like Saturn retrograde is going to highlight, why do you hibernate from it? Why do you run away from it? Why don't you embrace it? Because I feel for many of you, this situation has been coming up over and over and over again. But for some reason, you hibernate. You run the other way. You run the other way. We have the second house. Yeah, because you're more focused on your material things. You're more focused on, you know, the physical things in your life. The second house is the things that you value. But maybe you're afraid to admit to yourself that you do value sensuality, that you do value passion, that is important. Do you guys hear the car? Yeah, I feel like it's like your guides are signaling you, like, we've been here before. Pile number 3. For some of you, it could be an issue of self-worth. Is there a need for healing when it comes to sacred sexuality, sensuality? You know, do we need to heal something there? Like, what is keeping you from exploring and embracing this King of Wands? And this could, you know, the fact that you don't embrace your sensuality, this passion, it's like, it's also creating this blockage in your creativity as well. Because the King of Wands is a leader. He's a creative being. And sensuality is tied up with creativity. So, yeah, it's like this cycle. It's the cycle card. Wanted to come out, but it didn't come out. Let's see. It's like this energy of, I don't know. Like, look at your relationship with a sensuality. And sexuality, for that matter, too. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow, it did come out. Okay, so it's like you've been in this cycle. It's like there's these cycles where you really feel the yearning, but then it's kind of like, again, you push it down. And also embracing your sensuality will help you manifest things a lot faster, pile number 3. It will. And that will help you capitalize on these manifestations too. Yeah, like, how are you afraid to be a leader? Because the King of Wands is a leader. He's a passionate leader. You need to get comfortable with that energy. You really do. With your own sensuality. One more here. Yeah, it's this energy of like, I don't know, I'm getting this energy of like, you tend to be very like, you go back and forth with this energy. You're like, yes, I want it, but then you're like, you push it back and you're like, no, I don't. And then so, you know, I feel like Saturn retrograde wants you to become balanced and comfortable in this energy, in the sensuality, the sensual side of yourself. Because again, it's going to overspill in other things. And the bear is a leader too, by the way. At least in Lenormand, he's the CEO, he's the boss, right? He's someone with a lot of resources. He's someone who's very established. Think of like the King of Pentacles or the Emperor for that matter. But Saturn retrograde is going to tell you, like, focus on your sensuality, not so much on your physical security, at least not for the next 4 months. Really tap into that passion, explore that Kundalini energy, that Tantra energy within yourself. But that is what I have for you, pile number 3. I hope that it resonated. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. Bye.